So back in May, I went to see two of my favorite bands of all time, Fomori and Noha, live. I learned back when they announced the tour that one of their first shows wouldn't be all that far for me, so obviously I got down on my hands and knees and begged my mother for tickets. Anyways, the concert itself was a ton of fun, and I also got the sick shirt. But there was one thing specifically that caught my attention. Multiple people at the concert had brought their 3DSs. Now, as a child, I yearned for a console in the DS family, but between my mom wanting to keep our house low-tech and my crippling Animal Jam addiction, she was very reluctant to let me have any video game consoles. By no means did this stop me from being an utter Pokemon nerd, though. I collected the cards, traded them with kids in my elementary school Breaking Bad style, watched the anime, learned a lot about myself watching the anime, and watched a lot of shiny hunting Poketurbiers, the latter actually being my introduction to Pokemon. Because of that, I've always wanted to do a shiny hunt, but I was never really able to because, again, I never owned any consoles to play the games on. Until recently, that is. To be honest, I've been looking for one of these suckers for years, specifically a new 2DS XL. Just going to the concert and seeing people with their 3DSs, and also the fact I'm going to be a spectator at Pokemon Worlds this year, really just, put me into overdrive when it came to locating one. This little guy I was able to find for more than I should have spent on it. I got it for about, $180. In hindsight, I should have just gotten a Japanese console for, $50 and then just mod it, but hey. I didn't know modding your console made your console region free. So, whatever. I don't regret buying this little guy. It's in really good condition, minus some hard residue right here and some scratches above the X button, neither of which particularly bother me. It came with pretty much every piece of homebrew you would ever want on a 3DS. I've not had to do a single bit of hacking on this thing myself. But yeah, I love this little dude. I've had it for a few months now, and I've been making great use of it. Now, finally, with my 2DS XL in hand and my copy of Ultra Moon, I could finally fulfill my lifelong dream of doing a shiny hunt. Except I lied, actually. I'd already done one. You see this? This is what my family has taken to dubbing the prison notebook. You want to know why? All of this is one shiny hunt I did from August 1st to October 1st of 2023 in Pokemon White 2, with the shiny charm for a Pokemon with a 20% encounter rate in Dark Green Gas, which gives you double battles 50% of the time. My team got infected with Pokerus before I found the shiny. I got 4 shiny Patrats in a row before I found the shiny. This isn't even all the encounters, because I got hit by a car 2/3 of the way through this hunt, and I couldn't write the remaining encounters. The final total of roughly 40,000 encounters is an estimate based on the amount of time I spent hunting, but the total is almost certainly higher than that. All for a dang Venipede! By my calculations, the odds of finding a shiny with the shiny charm in Black 2 White 2 is 1 in 2,371. If the odds of finding a shiny Venipede is 20%, then 1 in 5 encounters should be a Venipede. If it takes me roughly 10 to 15 minutes to get 100 encounters when running 3 different games, then I should, hypothetically, have 20 Venipedes encounters every 10 to 15 minutes, or, for simplicity's sake, 2 Venipedes a minute. It took me 4 hours to reach the 2,371 shiny odds, so when putting that in minutes, 240, and multiplying that by the amount of Venipedes we get per minute, we get 480, the amount of Venipedes I will have encountered when I get 1 foot in the odds. But that's not all. When you divide the shiny odds by the amount of Venipedes we get per foot in the odds, you get an output of 5, the mathematical amount of feet in the odds we would need to statistically meet the amount of shiny Venipedes, or when multiplied by the shiny odds, we get a total of 11,855, the amount of Venipedes mathematically needed to find a shiny Venipede. I had both my feet and hands in the odds by the time I found my stubborn, impish brat daughter. I love her very much, so her name is Dingo. Say hi. Hi, this is Editing Finley here. I'm editing the audio right now. The way I worded my math at the end was a bit misleading, so I want to clarify. 11,855 is roughly the amount of general encounters someone would have to do to find a shiny Venipede, not just Venipede encounters. Think of it this way. You're multiplying the odds of finding a shiny, period, by the odds of Pokemon you would encounter being a Venipede. When you multiply the two, you are essentially finding the combined odds of having to find a shiny Pokemon, but also the Pokemon being a Venipede. The way I worded it made it sound like 11,855 was the amount of Venipedes I would need to find to get a shiny one. But no, it's the rough amount of total encounters I would need to do to get a shiny Venipede. Again, for reference, I did well over 40,000 total encounters, so I had 4 feet in the odds for a Venipede, but 17 feet in the odds for shinies in general. Anyways, I just wanted to make the true pain and suffering this was very clear. Okay, thank you for listening to me just being unhinged about Pokemon math. But Finley, you may be asking, how did you do a shiny hunt without a console? Simple. I fell out of interest in Pokemon after Let's Go came out, and what got me back into it was seeing someone in my school library playing Emerald on their Chromebook, which made me think, you can do that? And which I did, and then became obsessed with the series again. It's emulators. I played Pokemon on emulators. Are you happy? Of course, with my own legally obtained copies of the game that I dumped the ROM from myself in a completely legal manner because I don't condone piracy. Anyways, directly after completing my Scolipede hunt, I decided to play an Oak Run of Ultramoon to complete my regional decks and, you know, get the shiny charm. That way I could hunt my next target, Zekrom. I did get the hunt completely set up in December of 2023 and worked on it like a little bit, but I ultimately never got anywhere with it just because I was not as motivated. Though, once I got my 2DS XL and plugged in my save file, I realized that if I wanted to do what I kind of bought the DS for, that being doing a shiny hunt at Worlds, I either had to quit the hunt or overcome what I hadn't completed. So I got to work. I learned my lesson from the last time I did where I recorded pretty much nothing from it, so I don't have any footage to share. So I recorded literally every second I did of this hunt in hopes of, you know, actually catching my reaction this time. I actually started in pretty high spirits. I did resets while I went on bike rides. I did them while I was waiting between volunteer shifts. I did them pretty much everywhere. Ooh, I'm back in the park. I'm back in the park. We got a turtle right there. Splendid little guy. He's such a good model. He just sat there and I was drawing him for like 15 minutes. He's just like such a little man, such a little guy. He's very adorable. There's another turtle back there. There's like 4 turtles back there. There's a lot. Yeah. I think the plant is in the way, but 7 turtles on the log. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So baby. Oh, it reminds me a lot of my dad. I think you gotta get back on the grind. Oh, it's not even funny. Alright. Let me find a good place to set this down. The hunt was going swimmingly. But everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. I had 1 foot in the odds. No, it's fine. This is fine. Everything's fine. This happens all the time in shiny hunts. Who am I kidding? Except it wasn't fine. As time ticked on and I finished How Heavy Are the Dumbbells You Lift, both seasons of Comey Can't Communicate, and every video my YouTube subscriptions has posted in the last 12 to 14 business days, it became more clear. I now have 2 feet in the odds, and this shiny Zekrom was playing one of the most personal, targeted attacks in Pokemon history. I had to resort to extreme methods. I've been left with no choice. If this shiny Zekrom will not come home, I will cry. I've had to resort to the worst methods. I've had to pull out the Yowie. I've had to pull out the Popplio, the chicken, cannon corn. We will get this shiny Zekrom if it is the last thing I do. It will happen. It will happen. It's out of focus! No! Yes, I formed a summoning circle with miscellaneous knickknacks I keep at my computer set up because I thought it was funny and would maybe summon some kind of good luck. And you know what? It was hilarious. It boosted my spirits enough to survive the next few days of shiny torture. Remember guys, with the power of Yowie, anything is possible. I'm not even joking. The next day, an absolute torrential downpour of a monsoon hit my city. Is that thunder?
It is.
Oh my gosh. We rarely ever get rain this late in the season where I live, and even more rarely ever get thunder, but hell, there it is. On this day, I hunted more than ever because from my hardcore, intense research, I knew from Zekrom's Pokedex entries that hides in clouds and generates lightning. There was no other reason possible that rain could come this late. It was time. Yeah, I had no luck. What do you expect? This is generic Finley. I always reach double odds on my hunts. Honeydew McGee we are talking about. I could hunt for the guaranteed shiny Gyarados and still manage to have it take triple the time I was expecting. It had been a day or two since the thunderstorm, and to be honest, I was starting to lose hope again. I mean, I was very well reaching triple odds. I was somewhat convinced I had done something wrong and that I was delusional, actually, and the Ultra Wormhole legendaries were shiny locked. I was watching a Kasane Teto concert appearance compilation in hopes of raising my spirits, but to no avail. It wasn't until my plumber blessed me with his wonderful presence that I finally found what I was looking for. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Oh, finally! Oh, there it is! Oh, that jump scared me! Oh my gosh! Sorry to scare you guys. I'm okay. Oh. Me screaming? That's right, everyone. The cool and awesome plumber that thought me freaking out over finding a slightly different colored dragon was my dogs. It's been so long since I played on the save file, I don't know. Like, genuinely, it's almost in 2 years. Okay, 2, 3, stay in. Yes! Heck yeah! Okay. Oh my gosh, no, that's sick. Oh, I love the black and on shiny Zekrom so much more. Oh, that is sick. Hell yeah, we're giving a nickname. In honor in honor of watching the Kasane Teto on stage compilation. Actually, you know what? That's Miku on screen. We were watching Miku when we found it. I think we got it in his green. I think we gotta name it. Hatsune. Hatsune Miku. I think we got it. That's right, everyone. The cool and awesome Zekrom I caught is named Hatsune Miku, and now goes into the Hall of Fame of Pokemon who were actively running away from me until I had to grow a third leg just to put in the odds. Tune in 2 years when I hunt a shiny Reshiram and name it Kasane Teto, and again in 2 years when I hunt a shiny Kyurem named Akita Neru. You could... oh god. You could say I'm triple bucker for hunting all 3 dragons. Put me in jail, dude. Why did I put that in the script? What was I thinking? Oh wait, that's actually aged really well. I forgot that actually aged really well. Oh, I love you, bro. You're awesome and cool. I'm gonna link you. I don't think you have social media. I'm gonna say publicly that you're cool and awesome for making this for me and our other friend. This is so splendid. Oh my gosh. I'm actually, you could say I'm actually triple baka. Oh my gosh. I wrote this. She made this for Art Fight. I wrote the script before she made this. I'm not joking. I wrote the script back in May, dude. Oh god.